Sharp reactions from both the government and the opposition after a food stall owner was assaulted by allegedly MNS workers for speaking in Hindi instead of Marathi yesterday. Police have filed an FIR, but these assaulters have not been arrested as yet.
Well, Veera, this reflects a disturbing pattern of linguistic vigilantism rooted in identity politics. You are from Karnataka, you know how this works. While promoting Marathi is completely valid, specifically in Maharashtra, using violence to enforce language is completely unconstitutional. It's dangerous. Respect for local culture must come through outreach, not threats. In fact, the state must firmly curb such force and uphold right to linguistic freedom. Sandeep Shastri joins us. Professor Shastri, how do you look at something like that? Like what happened with the MNS and in Thane, because this brings back memories of how Mumbai used to be in 90s. There is this whole narrative about Mumbai being a melting point of all cultures, and there's also this threat of speaking only in Marathi.
Vasudha, you are very right in the initial comment that you made, that while there is a need to respect the local language, one cannot take the law into their own hands and indulge in acts of violence to be able to defend your position. Vasudha, in all these incidents, I see one trend playing out. It is not so much an opposition to language, but the fact that the protesters believe that a language represents a form of political domination. The opposition is to political domination, which is represented by a particular language, and therefore you take that forward. Even when you want to protest against political domination of which a language represents, I think there is no room for the use of violence there whatsoever. So I think let us separate the two issues. The room for violence is totally ruled out, while we must also recognize the fact that a protest against a language, a slight discomfort with the language is not because of the language per se, but because of the perceived political domination that that language represents.
Right, right. You're making a very important point. Deep insecurities in terms of identity and linguistic identity, especially Rohit. You pointed out that after decades, this kind of politics, in a sense, returning in Maharashtra in a large scale, is there a sense that political necessities at the moment could perhaps fuel it further?
Veera, isn't it amazing that just 2 days ago we were just speaking about how Maharashtra politics may take a turn similar to the kind of politics, that linguistic-based politics that we see in the southern states. And I didn't know that the shocking examples of this kind of a fallout would be seen on streets of Mumbai or Thane so suddenly, so soon. What you see here is, of course, the MNS doing what they have been doing for many years, coming out on streets and protesting and getting violent to attract attention. And that's been their style for many years. The shocking part here is, this time they have shot it on camera. Their own mobile cameras, perhaps, and they are the ones who have spread it on social media before the police could pick up the CCTV footage, etc. So my point is, this is definitely related to the upcoming election season in Maharashtra, right. The municipal polls that are coming up, and it is obvious that Raj Thakre's MNS, Manasse as we call it in Marathi, is trying to create its own space and be vocal and violent as usual. It remains to be seen what action the government in Maharashtra takes, what action the police take. They have not really shown a very good track record as far as political activists are concerned in the past.
That's a very important point, Rohit Chandavarkar. Professor Shastri, thank you so much for joining us. The political action that is going to be surrounding the BMC polls could be one reason why we are seeing an enhanced rhetoric when it comes to Marathi language, Veera. But clearly there are limits to linguistic pride, and violence has to be a clear no, whichever state it is, Maharashtra or even Karnataka.
Well, that's right, and that's all the time we have on the Southern View this evening. News and updates continue right here on NDTV. Thanks for watching.